Gonna record. Good afternoon, everybody. It's morning in Chile, but it's afternoon where we are. Hope you're all having a good day. Thank you for joining us for this Ventopuro tasting. I'm Graham Holter from the Wine Merchant magazine. In a second, I'm going to be handing over to James Dainty, who you can see on screen, and he is from Vintrigue Wines, which is part of Lanchester Wines, as he'll explain. And then we're going straight over to Chile, where we've got Juan, Jose, and Jorge waiting to tell us more about these wines we're tasting today, which are part of the Ventopuro range, which is part of Matetic. Just to explain how things will work, you're not visible on screen, as you can see, but we do encourage you to take part and make this as much of a two-way thing as we can make it, or 3 or 4 way thing as we can make it, just by typing the odd comment as we go along. It'd be really nice to see some feedback, even if it's just, I really enjoyed that wine, or tell me more about why you chose that particular way of vinification, whatever it might be. We don't expect massive tasting notes or huge cerebral kind of comments on things, but it's just nice to know that you're there and you're tasting along with us, and just share your thoughts, really, or if you have any questions. I'm sure you've all done this before. If you haven't, if you move your cursor down the screen, you'll see that there's the Q&A function, so you can just click on that, and then you can ask any questions in there. There's also the chat function, which you can use for pretty much the same thing, really, or just make comments. So it'd be really lovely to see some words in there from you. We've got a little PowerPoint that we'll use as we go along, which will give you some information about the wine as we go. The line from Chile is good, but not perfect, so you should be able to hear reasonably well. If there's anything that isn't clear, then hopefully will be explained on the PowerPoint. But again, if there's anything that does need a bit more explanation or clarification, do feel free to type something. So that's really all from me. I'm going to hand over now to James just to take us to the next stage.
Many thanks, Graham. Yeah, just to briefly introduce Vintrigue Wines. So Vintrigue is a platform from Lanchester Wines, and it's dedicated towards independent retail. So that's wines from our portfolio, beers from Full Circle Brewery, which is part of the group, and then gifts also from our sister company, Spices of Hythe. Yeah, so today we're going to look at 4 of the Ventopuro wines. So yeah, I'd like to pass over to Juan, Jose, and Jorge, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Juan Jose San Martin, export director of Matetic Wine Group. I'm here with Jorge Matetic. 5th generation? 5th generation. Yes. Yes, export manager. We manage the European market. And we are here to introduce a great brand that is called Ventopuro. First, want to talk about how Ventopuro born. 2016, because a great story, and this is our main brand in terms of sales, so we care a lot of Ventopuro. We went Provine in 2016, and 2 days before, I was in Madrid waiting for my airplane, and our agent in the Netherlands called us and said, hey, you guys, you're importer of another brand that we have. Change the general manager, and they decide to move you out. So you will have a meeting with the board of directors in Provine in 2 days, and you will find. I say, come on, and there's something that we can do to avoid that. And they said, yes, maybe you can introduce a brand more sophisticated and more new with a more powerful storytelling. Okay, in 2 days, we need to work hard. So I called in the airport to Claudia, our marketing director, and say, Claudia, we need to create something great. We have Ventopuro name that is amazing. And in 20 minutes, we have a brainstorming. We call the designer manager and say, we have 2 days to create a brand. Why not? We show our sustainable projects on the labels. And of course, showing the good quality and the valleys we have around Chile. We work in 9 different valleys around Chile. So we try to show in our full portfolio the different valleys and qualities we can reach in each level of our work. So at the meeting, the owner and the new general manager in Provine, they came with the decision to fire us and say, "Come on, give me the chance first," and we introduced Ventopuro. And after 15 minutes, the owner of the company say, "Hey, why you are going to take this brand out of our portfolio? This is great." So this is the reason and the story why, when and why Ventopuro born. And it was a complete success in the Netherlands. And 1 year later, 2 years later, we started Lanchester, and also we increased a lot the sales, and the labels is amazing. So if we can show the presentation, please, Jorge. You're showing it? Yeah, thanks. So this is Ventopuro, means pure wind. And as we have been working in the Matetic family business, and that started 22 years ago, they always have been driven by the sustainable movement from the beginning. They were pioneering the organic and biodynamic farming here in Chile, not only in the vineyards, also in the farms they have. So for us, the sustainable project is something that we have in our DNA. So our contribution, next one, sorry, is to inspire, and not only of the brand, from the company in general, is to inspire the creation of a better place to live, never losing sight what nature has to tell us. We try to show wines that they are nature products, so we need to return what we are taking out. This is something that we have been working always in all our different levels of the company. So we have 3 different levels. That is the Reserva range, single vineyard range, and Stellar, the Stellar wines. So one of each label, we try to show the different sustainable project we have. So in the Reserve one, one before please. We try to show the glass recycled project. So this project started 2 years ago with a group of persons that is called Siempre Unidos, that is from Chimbarongo, one of the close area of our winery. And we started a mutual collaboration together to try to show the communities around the areas and try to teach them the importance of being sustainable in every kind of the business, and also not only in the business, only in the way of you need to live, you know. So we share with these persons, that is around 30 people, and we gave them some bottles that they are broken, and they built glasses with our brands and everything, and we buy them again. So we give them all the dry materials to produce a sustainable product, and then we buy it again with the brands and everything, and we use it as merchandising from our different customers. So at the end, we are using the 3 R's, that is reuse, recycle, and reuse. So it was a great project. We can see it in the pictures. The next one, please. So it's a great moment to share with community, to show what we are doing with the company, and we want to teach why it's important to be sustainable. We moved to single vineyard range. We have a woodworking project. So we realized that, okay, we incorporate the communities around the winery to show and teach how the importance of being sustainable. Now we need to teach our own people of the company. So we create a project with a company that's called Aymare, that they are in charge to create furniture from oaks, stakes, barrels, and also from wood, from constructions, all wood that they are not useful anymore. and they create great furniture and they build offices and everything. So they have a great master of wood that teach us, all our team, how to reuse and recycle these staves and barrels to create some furniture. So we create a good moment with all our people to teach how important also is be sustainable and how involved we are as a company in this area. So they came, and I came to the winery a lot of time. There's, I think, more than 5. We make these classes, and we teach everyone how to create a furniture. And there was a really good moment because all the people came with ideas from Google. They want to do some bars to share and everything, different projects. So this master of wood teach us how to create our own product using barrels and staves. So it was a great moment. Actually, we have the hotel that we have here and the restaurant. All the furniture is from this project, and so the people now they are asking for, hey, do you have a barrel? Do you have some stave? Because I have some customer close to my house that they want my bar, because of course we gave them everything, and we give them these dry materials to create furniture. So that is amazing. So they are starting to get involved and asking when the next classes will be and everything. So it's great. It was a great moment. And the last project that is shown in the Ventopuro Stellar label is like the name said. It's like our stellar project that we want to involve the communities, our own people that work with us, and also the major of the community, because we say, well, it's much easy, it's really easy to plant trees, that's the project is, in some areas. But why we don't involve the communities and also the company to show to everyone how important it is? And this is why this is our stellar project. Because it will be really successful, and we want to build some park in the more poor areas around the winery to have some green spaces, and also, of course, teach them why we are doing this, because it's something that is, as I said, in the DNA of our company. Saying that, well, this project is the last one, and it's going to start next year. Of course, we are moving everything to start next year, and the plan is plant 1 tree each 100 cases we sell. So it will be a lot of trees that we need to plant. And finally, our wines. The moment everyone expected. We are going to taste 4 wines. Sauvignon Blanc Reserva, Chardonnay single vineyard, Pinot Noir single vineyard, that we received great news that we won 90 points on the country, so it was amazing. And Cabernet Sauvignon Estelar from Colchán. So Sauvignon Blanc Reserva came from our vineyards we have in Molina area. This area is 200 kilometers from Santiago to the south. So these vineyards are in a cool area, but not the ocean influence. We don't have the ocean influence there. We have the Andes mountains influence. And this is why this is a cool area. So it's a great place to plant Sauvignon Blanc. In this area, you can find the biggest plantations, vineyards of Sauvignon. Because of the quality and the volumes we can reach there is really great. So this is not the green notes that you can find in Leida, Casablanca, that you find the green notes on the white wines. This is more fresh and more citric notes that you can. Also, as you can feel, you have a great acidity, and this is because of the place as it is a crude valley. The slow process of maduration at the end give you a really good acidity and a good persistence.
James, do you know the RRP on this one?
RRP, so at 35%, so depending on your margin, but 35% is £10.78, where the Reserva wines are line priced £5.84 per bottle.
So if we move to Chardonnay, single vineyard, then we change to Casablanca appellation. This is a valley really close to the ocean. So here you can find more ocean influence. And in this area, we have lowest yields, around 9 to 10 tons per hectare. That is great because it's the capacity of the vineyards. And we use 6 months, yes, I think 6 months of French oak, a percentage of this one. So this is where you can build on notes of butter, vanilla, vanilla.
Yeah, definitely get all of that. It's fantastic wine. Again, James, what would be the RRP on that one? Sorry, you got a mouthful there.
Sorry about that, bad timing. So the single vineyard range, the wines are line priced just over £7. And again, for retail at 35%, just under 13. So £12.97, just under £13.
Right. It strikes me as pretty good value. There's a lot of wine for your money there.
Actually, this wine, sorry, Graham, this wine is one of our top sales in the company. This level of single vineyard Chardonnay, we won a lot of awards around the world, and this is our best variety in terms of sale.
Okay. And in terms of volume, compared with the Sauvignon, do you make more of this than the Sauvignon, or more of the Sauvignon than the Chardonnay?
No, this Chardonnay we move more than the Sauvignon, actually.
Okay. And 2 grams of residual sugar, is that kind of consistent from year to year? Is that what you'd normally expect from this wine?
It depends on the year. We receive different grapes every year, so at the end it's a decision that the winemaker is taking harvest by harvest to try to reach the better quality. Maybe they reach 2 in 1 year, then they try another year that was coolest. They try to be more sugar to try to balance the acidity with the sugar. So it's not constant year by year. It depends the year.
It's a really interesting wine. When you're making a Chardonnay, I mean, it sounds like a kind of obvious question, really, but are you kind of thinking about New World styles? Are you thinking about Burgundian kind of template? How do you approach it?
We are trying to do Chilean wines. To be honest, we are trying to reflect the terroir that we have in each valley we produce. That's the truth. This is some Casablanca, is maybe some classic style that you can find. And it shows really well the terroir we have in our vineyards here.
Okay. I've just got a couple of questions and comments to round up, which I didn't notice as they were made, so forgive me for that. Someone's just asking for a reminder about the cost price of the 2 wines so far. Sorry, James, to make you go through that again. I don't want to rely on my memory when you've probably got it straight in your head.
No worries. Yeah, so Reserva cost price, £5.84 per bottle. Single vineyard cost price, £7.03 per bottle.
Okay, thank you for that. And there were a couple of comments which I've suddenly lost again. I'll get to them in a second, don't worry. Where did those go? Sorry. It's an unusual way of working with the screen share. I can't see everything straight away, but we'll get to them in a second. No, let's continue for now. I think people are enjoying the wines anyway. That's a nice comment so far. Okay, should we move on to the Pinot?
Great. Here we have the Ventopuro Pinot Noir, also from Casablanca appellation. Here we use a little more time in nose, but not too much percentage of the wine. It changes every year how many percentage of wines we use in the barrels, because according the different vintage we have been developing year by year. But this one, the 18, is we use 8 to 10 months in French oak aging. So you can feel that note, but we don't use it here too much percentage, because we try to show here the fruits that we have in this wine. At the end, you can balance the oak with the fruits, and you can obtain a much complex wine. And this is we received by Emma a few days ago, no, I don't know, 1 month ago, that we won 90 points on decanter. That is really hard to obtain, because not too much Chilean Pinot Noirs obtain more than 90 points. So we are really proud of it, because it reflects that in this category you can build a really good wine.
It's definitely got a fantastic balance to it. I think it shows some quite clever winemaking, but I guess also clever planting. You must have been working hard to find out where the exact best sites are within the Casablanca. Have you had lots of trial and error? Have you tried things that didn't work before you arrived at this particular site?
I agree with one of the comments we saw, that it's really sexy Pinot Noir. It is.
I mean, in terms of where you plant in Casablanca, I guess there are places where you've tried Pinot before, and it was either too warm or had other problems. Is Casablanca a difficult place for Pinot if you don't know what you're doing? I mean, what I'm trying to get at is you've obviously found a very good spot to plant.
We are suffering bad moments because of water problems the last 3 years. And this year we have been in the driest season of many years ago, but for a miracle, we are receiving a lot of rain tonight, and it will be for 3 days. So we are expecting a lot of water, and it will decide how the next harvest will be. So we are crossing our fingers to praying to the gods that we can receive a lot of water, because it is a problem. It is.
What do you think the state of play is with Pinot Noir generally in Casablanca and Chile generally? Is it a grape that people are more confident about now? I know every country in the world, you can look at examples where Pinot Noir hasn't quite been as good as it should have been. There are some very good ones coming out of Chile now.
It's a great question, because it's a variety that is really hard to sell. Why? Because the people that ask for Pinot Noir, it's hard to them, the last consumer, it's hard to them to take the risk to choose a Chilean Pinot Noir for a French or New Zealand Pinot Noir. It's hard to convince them that we can do great wines too. But when they try it, they realize, oh, it's okay. But the first time they try it is the hardest one, because you need to convince that you can do a good value Pinot Noir and take the risk. But to be honest, we have the highest categories of wine, that is in the top line, the really premium lines of Pinot Noir, and in those categories much harder than this one, because in more expensive the wine, less is the risk that the consumer takes in the end. So it's hard. It's a great question because Pinot Noir is actually, there's not too much vineyards here in Chile. Pinot Noir. It's a hard variety.
And same question again, James. What are we looking at in terms of cost price RRP on this one?
So the single vineyard wines are line priced, so across the range, so £7, 3 pence. Cost price just shy of £13 at 35%. So depending on margin, about £13 or so.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know any views from our retailers joining us about how you're feeling about about Chilean Pinot Noir generally, and what consumers are making of it. Whether they're enjoying the value for money, whether they're enjoying the styles, and whether they'd enjoy this kind of style. I think it's certainly one of those Pinots that you think would have a broad appeal. But that's for you to tell us. Okay, so should we move on?
Well, to finish, we have here a Cabernet Sauvignon from Colchagua Valley. And this vineyard in Colchagua is from Apalta Valley. Apalta is one of the most prestigious valleys around Chile in terms of the red wines, especially in Carmenera and Cabernet Sauvignon. You can find there the most boutique wineries. It's a really magical place to be because it's like another country. We went there 1 month ago to visit one of our producers that grow grapes, and you can find really old vineyards there. So it shows you the place, it shows you something really unique, and they have their own climate. It's like have a microclimate that is, you be there and it's sunny day and you can see that the village next is with cloud. It's amazing what you can find there. The most icons wine from Chile came from here. So this is a special wine that try to show the terroir that we are showing. And why we decide to use the Apalta and Colchagua appellation is because as Ventopuro Chilean is our powerful wine that we want to show, we decide to work with a really old producers from the area.
That's really beautiful. Tell us about the oak there. Apologies if I missed what you said about the oak.
What, sorry, I missed you.
What about the oak? What kind of oak have we seen on this one?
We don't use too much. A little percentage, you can feel it, but again, it's depend the year, how many oaks, because there's some vintage that they are amazing, and you want to show the fruit expression from the place more than the oak. So it depends. The oak give you some like sugar feeling, even though these wines are dry. If you use too much oak, you change the mouth of the wine. So at the end, you need to try to be balanced when you are doing this wine, because you can abuse of the oak. Especially in this kind of wines that we try to show the terroir that we have.
I think it's really delicious, and as Russell says, very well integrated, lovely finish. Colchagua is a real star. Well, talking of stars, I'm not much of an astronomer. What does the label signify?
This label came much later than the other ones. And estelar, it's mean like estrella, that is in Spanish word that is star at the end. So we have been working with organic biodynamic in some portfolios of wine we have, is try to show the importance of the stars for us. We need to follow the calendars of stars, the moon, and there's something incredible, the energy. So at the end, we try to reflect this stellar with this beautiful label.
Yeah, it's a really lovely label. So those are 4 really interesting and different wines from the range. Is there more to the range that we see in the UK? I mean, James might know the answer to this one. Is this just a snapshot of what you're offering from Ventopuro, or are there lots more?
There's a handful more, but I just, if I may, I'll give you the pricing for the Estelar first. So there's 2 Estelar wines. There's a Carmenere that we stock that sits alongside, and those wines are £8.11 per bottle, so just shy of £15 retail price at 35%. With single vineyard, we also have a red blend, and we have a Sauvignon Blanc, and then with the Reserva range, we also have a Merlot, a Carmenere, Cabernet Sauvignon. I think that's it. I might have a Pinot Noir as well from Reserva as well.
Okay. Yeah. Are they going well for you? I know these are primarily aimed at independents.
Yeah, very well indeed, thank you. I think some of the comments we've seen today, particularly I think the wines do offer fantastic value for money. I think the fruit purity on that Cabernet Sauvignon is stunning. The Pinot Noir, single vineyard, fantastic. Yeah, the wines are doing very well indeed for us, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Sorry, can you just repeat the prices for the Cabernet Sauvignon? I've just been asked to repeat it. Maybe the line went dead at that point.
Yeah, so the Estelar range, Cabernet Sauvignon and Carmenere, £8.11 per bottle. Okay. So at 35% retail, approximately just under £15.
Okay. If anyone's got their chat box open on the side of the screen, Emma's kindly put the link to all of the wines that are from the range. Adam's asked, sorry, I missed the details of the Sauvignon Blanc as I had to break off to deal with a sale. Well, that's good. It's good to know you're dealing with a sale on an afternoon like this. Very good. It tasted to me like it had some time on the lees. Is that correct? Is that Juan, Jose? Do you remember what you said about that? So you don't need to remember. You know it off by heart, I'm sure. What's the story with the Sauvignon Blanc and lees?
Story of what? Sorry.
The Sauvignon Blanc. Does it spend time on lees?
No, the Reserva range, no, not too much.
Okay. Hope that answers your question, Adam. Okay, has anybody else got any comments they want to make or any questions they want to ask before we let everybody go? We like it when these tastings are short and sweet, but also cover a lot of ground, as this one has done. So I think we've done a good job of introducing you to the Ventopuro range in a small way, I hope, and also the people behind them. I think they certainly offer really good value for money, and each one is a wine you can instantly kind of fall in love with. I think they're not wines that creep up on you. I think you get them straight away. That's my take on it anyway. But if anyone's got any other views, they're very welcome to let them to air them now. But if not, I think we'll say thank you to everybody. Got a few here. Al, nice backstory and impressive value. Many thanks. Russell at Clipper, really interesting wines and winery snapshot. Thanks very much. So I think we'll probably let everybody go. Thank you very much, Juan, Jose and Jorge. It's been very kind of you to spare your time, giving up your time to talk us through these wines. And James as well. So what we'll do next is we'll send a copy of the video of this to everybody so that if you did miss anything or want to go over anything or share it with someone in your team, you've got it to hand. And if you've got any comments about the wines after this, you can either share them with James direct or with us, and we pass those on. But for now, I think we'll wrap up because I know everyone's busy and it's a very, very hot afternoon here in the UK. We've all got scorching weather, people waiting to be served outside, I'm sure. I'm being sarcastic in case anyone can't tell. All right. Thanks ever so much. See you soon.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
And you. Bye-bye.